Spoiler alert, millennials are no longer who you thought they were, and understanding who they are is key to figuring out how to market to them, and market to them you must. Why? For starters, they are a great brand community, educated, aware, sensitive, creative, responsive, and rewarding. If you need more reasons, millennials comprise 50% of the working population, and by extension, the spending population right now, and that percentage is soon set to touch 75%. Can you afford to ignore them? No. Today we're answering the question on every entrepreneur's mind: how do I widen my customer base? And the buying population we're looking at today is millennials. Who are they? What do they want? And why should you care? Get ready to take some notes, as this is going to be an episode packed with important information. How do you become a millennial-worthy brand? Or if I was speaking in millennialism, is that a word? I think it is. It should be. I just made it up. We're speaking millennialish. I would even say, how do you become Instagrammable brand? Understanding who the millennial population is more important. Figuring out how to market to millennials starts with realizing that they're not who you thought they were anymore. Things have changed, and so have they. So who are millennials today? Let me tell you what they are not. Teenagers. People used to say, oh, millennials, but they were talking about teenagers. Millennials aren't teenagers anymore. They were born between 1980-ish and 2000-ish. That puts them between 20 and 40 right now. Did that just perk your ears up? 20 and 40-year-olds are major buyers. Spoiler alert number 2. According to market trade analysts, millennial spending is crucial for industries such as fitness, health, travel, camping, casual dining, coffee, skincare, automotive, frozen foods, and personal finance. Is that you? Probably. Until not too long ago, some people were dismissing millennials as like moody teens that didn't really grow up, at least not to the standards of, say, 40-year-olds and up. But the data is in, and the data tells no lies. In fact, it shows that the Millennial Generation is the one that is buying. The Millennial Generation are the ones shaping public opinion. The Millennial Generation is driving choices and defining buying patterns. Also, if you want to know more about the Fortune 100 companies and how they target specific market segments like millennials or others, I've got you covered. Click the link in the description and you'll be all set up to win. Remember the famous Time magazine cover about millennials? It called them the me generation, the entitled narcissists who still live with their parents. But it also said that it's the millennials who are going to save us all. What makes millennials special is that they were essentially the first constantly connected generation. This is a unique generation that is connected online but still values catching up in person. They used to go out and play and not stare at screen all day. They are the balancing force between the baby boomers and the Gen Z. Historically, millennials have been influential not just in terms of the driving market dynamics, but in cultural changes, wokeness, meaning they were not buying your BS anymore, and even developing a lexicon that is less gender, race, and economically biased. Kudos, millennials. Entrepreneurs who are ignoring millennials as valuable members of their brand community can't have the whole picture, because the millennials are great brand community members. Don't miss out on this powerful positive change and all it can do to grow your brand in the right direction. Millennials are the ones making all the buying decisions right now, and they're going to be moms and dads in like a minute. I mean, millennials are 50% of the working population, and that percentage is set to climb to 75%. Okay, now we're talking, right? As the largest working age population, they also have the largest purchasing power right now. Get this. It was estimated that millennials will spend $1.4 trillion this year. Millennials are one of the largest generations in history, and right now are in the prime spending years. Brands cannot afford to not market to them. If ever there was a millennial brand, it would have to be Netflix. A brand associated with entertainment in an accessible, convenient, easy-to-use format, offering huge amount of choice, a diverse collection, an algorithm that caters to individual preferences. What did Netflix do right? Pretty much everything when it came to millennial audience. They engaged and communicated with them, became shareable, constantly upgraded, and offered exclusive content. Netflix even spoke to the brainiac, the politically engaged consumer, the eco-warrior, and the audience that was demanding relevant nonfiction and documentary-based content. Netflix evolved right along with the millennials. Think about Starbucks, the essential millennial branding success. The company not only worked to create a really hip aesthetic that appealed to millennials, but they also created welcoming spaces that people love to hang out at. While other coffee houses were offering limited Wi-Fi, shunning loiterers, moving customers out as quickly as possible, Starbucks understood branding to the millennial consumer from the early days, and wow, has it paid off. GoPro is another. Why is it such a millennial product? Great tech, convenient, thoughtful, goes with the desire for new experiences and adventure, and of course, it is shareable. It helps people show off their varied interests, their creativity, their off the beaten path travels and explorations. Have you seen those point of view things where guys are riding along the cliff's edge on their bike? GoPro, right? It helps people create memories. Take another example like Chipotle. Corporate responsibility is important to millennials, very important to millennials. Chipotle stresses on sustainable processes, organic farming, and good health. These are all issues that matter to millennials, and they really got it right. And Uber, a millennial ideal if they ever was one, right? Millennials really didn't want the hassle of driving from A to B, looking for parking, probably spending on that, and then having to watch how much they drank that evening. With Uber, they could just use their phone, their favorite thing, to enjoy never-before experiences through a never-before convenience. So how do you brand to millennials? The first thing is to understand their mindset. Understand what's important to them. Number one is brand values. Don't you just love them? Causes and issues are important to them. Brands seen as sensitive to environmental causes, conscious about organic versus genetically modified produce, diversity and social justice find favor with millennials. As many as 57% of millennial women base their buying decisions on the causes a brand supports. Wow, let that sink in. Millennials want to be a part of the change for the better, and they like brands that stand for positive change. Get this, they will also disregard a brand they've been loyal to for years if it doesn't have any programs to better the world. For a compelling brand whose impact on the world is positive, they'll pay even more. Number two is experiences. Millennials are the YOLO generation, you live only once. They want experience, they want amazement, thrill, excitement, adventure, the unusual, and they're willing to spend for it. So if you can tie your product with the idea of an incredible experience, you'll reach them right where they are. Number three is options. Millennials love having options because this puts them in the driver's seat, so to speak, right? It helps them tailor their choices to their experiences, the way they want to experience them, to the causes that they hold dear. They don't like being dictated to. They want their options full and plenty. They don't want to be limited. Number four is health and fitness. They've seen their grandparents having Alzheimer's and suffer slow mental decline. They see their parents living with diabetes, heart disease, and so on. They don't want this for themselves. They want to be fitter and healthier than the generations that went before them. And they have the information and the data to make the decisions to achieve this. Brands seen as safer and healthier will win out over the competition for the entire millennial population. Products designed for better nutrition, healthy lifestyle products such as a standing desk, which I love, smart, well thought out workout wear, thoughtful brands that bring them this will succeed. Number five is speed and convenience. Millennials, having grown up in a constant contact world, their attention spans are shorter and they're more impatient than the generations that went before. Instant gratification is good, and if they have to wait for something to happen, well, there are plenty of other choices. They want to be able to complete tasks, work, communicate in a streamlined manner without wasting any time or effort. Number six is innovation. Millennials love good idea. They love clever features and functionalities that are thoughtful, improve user experience, and simplify the process. Look at the progression of the way we listen to music. The cassette player gave way to CDs, which gave way to the iPod or the MP3 player, and now we just stream our music, whatever, wherever, whenever we want. No brand can afford not to innovate. Number seven is engagement. As the foremost connected generation, they want to share and communicate all of the time. They want to do it right away. They also want to be able to communicate with brands, and they want to be able to communicate right back. Online campaigns, a strong social media presence with responsive and positive customer interaction, convenient apps, great after-sales service, all of these are vital to the millennial. Number 8 is ownership. Not so much of the products, but of their life, of their attitude, of their career, of what they are. Millennials live with a sense of independence. Millennials seek ownership more than any other generation. Put them in charge of something, and instead of doing it like a chore, they want to do it. They will own that task. Now that we've covered what's important to millennials, let's talk about the 5 actions you can take right now for your brand to become an inspiration to millions of millennials. Number 1, I cannot stress this one enough. Become smartphone friendly. In several of my previous videos, I discussed the importance of websites needing to be mobile friendly, optimizing your online presence for handheld devices, and making things easily shareable. Your content has to be able to transition seamlessly from desktop to handheld and back again if required. Number 2, become Instagram worthy. No, not Facebook worthy, because Facebook is not instant enough. This means relevant, interesting content that isn't too long to be tedious and which offers up instant gratification. Instagram worthy also means having a certain aesthetic, attitude, a type of feedback loop. Become Instagrammable. Number 3, become the reason they feel good about their position in the world. Help them support a cause through you. Find a cause to align with them. Come across as sensitive and aware and building your brand around something that matters to them, to your target audience. Number 4, become a source of joy. Entertain them. Make them laugh. Tell them something new, something fun. Align with their influencer, celebrity, or franchise that they like. They love to be socially engaged, and they love to feel joyful about it. Number 5, become a social touch point. Help them create relationships. Give them opportunities to connect and create relationships or strengthen their existing relationships. Remember how Coca-Cola was putting names on the cans and people were taking pictures of their friends with their names? Your brand doesn't have to be their best friend, but it can help them increase their friendships. Give them an opportunity to show that they care. Well, even while social posting, they are contributing to their circle of friends, which is free word of mouth advertising for you. And word of mouth advertising is 50 times more likely to convert. So what I'm saying is, millennials are a super great community to brand for. Educated, aware, sensitive, creative, responsive, and rewarding. These attributes make millennials excellent brand community members and enthusiastic brand ambassadors. Use what you've learned about them in this episode to be a catalyst for all the things that they want to do inside your brand, the life they want to live, the greater future they want to aspire to. Meet them where they are and take them where they want to go. 72.1 million millennials in the United States are waiting for you. And as promised, learn how the Fortune 100 companies identify and target specific segments. I put the link in the description below for you. So you're all set up to win. If you like this video, check out some of my other videos as well. I release new videos every Tuesday and Thursday for you to use as your own personal masterclass in branding and becoming an inspiration to millions. And as always, I'll end with my motto, which is very millennial friendly. Love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.